What's up everyone, it's China Cycling here with a video about racing in China. Racing in China it's different. Like, full disclosure, I'm a total noob. I've actually never raced anywhere else, but I watch plenty of YouTube videos of crit racing and stage racing around the world. Yeah, I'm one of those guys. Anyway, last year a huge race was organized in my Chinese home city of Weinan. It's a tiny city by Chinese standards, but these days all these lower tier Chinese cities are using these sporting events like marathons and bike races as a way to show off how developed and cool their city is. It's basically just like a huge peeing contest between cities to see who can hold the biggest and the best event and with the most superstars coming away. Anyway, so they closed off half the roads in the city, bringing traffic to a complete standstill for this race. You know, it's technically just an amateur race, no pros allowed. I say technically because that's another thing about racing in China, but I'll do more on that in another video another day. And so there was full motorcade support for like first aid and security and media. And so naturally, when this race comes to your town, you've got to, I jumped on my China Relo, I pinned on a number, and I signed up for my first ever race. And like, there are races, huge races like this, every weekend in China. And so I work on weekends, but when a race this big comes right on your doorstep, you can't say no. So I took leave from work and I joined in the race. And it turned out I was the only foreigner to sign up for the race, if you don't count Taiwanese as foreigners, which China doesn't, but again, maybe that's better discussed in another video another day. Anyway, being the only foreigner, I attracted quite a lot of attention. It was actually super embarrassing. Everyone assumed I was some sort of hotshot foreign pro who was here to win some prize money. On the grid, I got pushed to the front of the grid, next to a couple of guys from RDS Mountain. That's like a UCI continental team. And some of the ex-pro track cyclists were up front with me too. And so being a flat 56k race, everyone had legs the size of tree trunks. And I'm there, 1.68 meters tall, I think I was 52 kilos, 52 kilos that day. And yeah, all of these semi-pro guys on the front grid are just looking at me like, who the F is this guy? Like, where'd he come from? They assume I couldn't speak Chinese, and they just start asking each other if anyone recognizes me. And some guy says he's raced with me before, and I was from some Russian continental team. And I'm just laughing my ass off because, I'm just an English teacher from England. And I guess all foreigners look the same to Chinese people, maybe. My minor racism aside, just joking. It was giving me huge pressure just to not F anything up, The race itself was a huge deal. As I mentioned before, there were the motorcades and a whole bunch of security. And so before the race started, a whole bunch of government-type dudes, trying to show off their city, they get on the stage and they say how good the city is and how good it is to have everyone here and blah, blah, blah. And then, there's an opening ceremony, and, we're all sitting on the starting line waiting. And all I can think is how badly I need to pee from drinking way too much water before the race. Like I say, I'm a total noob. This is my first race, and I got no idea what I'm doing. Anyway, front row of the grid, I got a great view of this flag dancing and drumming and Tai Chi and whatever the hell this one is. And the crowds for this thing were huge too. Like, pretty much the whole 18-kilometer lap had people either side of the road watching. This was the start-finish straight, and people were like 10 deep and climbing up on stuff to get a better view. And these crowds combined with the media attention and the motorcade support, I'm telling you guys, if you want to feel like a pro cyclist but you don't have the legs, come race in China and give your ego a huge boost. Even with mediocre fitness like me, you'll be fine. Anyway, after all the opening ceremony shenanigans, the race was on the way. Being nervous as crap, I totally forgot to turn my GoPro on at first, and I turned it on about 400 meters into the race after the first corner. So like that's where this picks up. And so yeah, I'm like the third in the race right now. You know, I got clipped in, and no one's really going crazy. Adrenaline's pumping, so I'm following this guy along. Yeah, just pumping out, not much lots. This guy goes blowing past, but he's on his own. I don't think he's a threat, so I don't chase him. I'm happy staying behind this guy. And so one of the things was knowing who to follow and who to not. Like I say, I knew that in a minute you'll see guys in fluorescent green and black. They're the RTS Monton guys. Like that's a continental UCI team. So I knew if those guys came sailing through, it was time to go. You can see plenty of people lining the streets, but yeah. So looking over my shoulder, I saw a bit of a train coming through. Some of the big boys, and then I believe they come through on my right. Yeah, so I see these guys. Boom, straight away 700 watts. For me, that's like 14 watts a kilo. And yeah, this guy in the black and fluoro green, I know he's RTS Monton. This guy, he's also a Taiwanese rider on the Novatech team, I think. So yeah, I'm like, okay, just grab these guys' wheels. Let's go, 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 go. And yeah, up to 50k an hour. And it calms back down a bit. But I'm just happy just to sit on the back of this train. Like I say, my first race, I don't really know who's who, but I know who these guys are. So I know when these guys go, it's time to go. But I can sit on at 47, 48k an hour with 150 watts. You see the watts go up and down a bit as I'm going closer and further away. Being a bit of a noob. And again, boom, another acceleration. So again, 650 watts, 55k an hour, 56k an hour. And this is the first time I've ever been on my bike and tried to go for a harder gear, and there's just no more gears left. Like, I run a compact chainsaw, and yeah, that was the first time I've ever tried to go for a shift, and there was just nothing to shift into. Yeah, so these guys, I assume they know who's a threat and who's not a threat. So when they chase, I'll go with them. When they don't chase, I won't go. But again, look at the side of the streets. Like, these are decent crowds. This is one lap is 18 kilometers. So to have people all the way around one lap, and it was a 3-lap race, so it's like what, 54 kilometers. Not bad cadence on this guy, just keeping it going. This RTS Monton guy swings out, and he comes back in. He doesn't really care I'm there. Like, I guess he thinks I'm a nobody. I am a nobody, but yeah, and then he just stops pedaling. So I guess he's waiting for his team to come through. Because usually, I'm told, and I've done some races since this race, usually in China, Chinese races, it's just full gas from the go. Like, the first 10 minutes is just full gas, and then it calms down for a bit, and then the last sprint. But yeah, usually it's full gas from the go, and so I'm really nervous. I'm wondering when it's going to drop. Luckily, the side of the road, you can see these flags. Those flags are really useful for working out the wind, trying to pick the best place to slipstream. And so yeah, I guess I'm like third wheel here or whatever. And I know these two guys are good. The guy in the front's on the Novatech team from Taiwan. And so I'm happy just to sit in behind these two guys. And so yeah, pretty much a flat course. You can see him just TTing off the front and rolls behind. And he's seen where his team are. All the big boys are trying to get their teams back together to start something. And I'm just looking for threats, but also not really knowing who is a threat. This is kind of on the outskirts of the city. Like, more towards the countryside. This road runs along a river. And again, not crazy speed, 40 k's an hour. And this was slight tailwind. This guy goes booming down the outside of us behind that motorbike. But again, no one really follows him, so I guess I don't think he's a threat. But then one other guy follows him, and these two guys, they don't seem very interested in chasing it. So for the time being, I'm just happy to sit in with these guys. You see that one guy got eaten up and came back. So this is the course is pretty flat, but it goes downhill here pretty steep. Like you can see the grade like a minus 5% grade, and they're on the red, which is the cycle path. I hate that. I hate that surface. So I pulled out, but then the speed got up, and I thought I'll stop back in. But then on the other side, it goes up to like a 4 or 5% hill, and being a lighter guy, like this was great for me. I wish the whole race was like this. And so there's one guy on the right, another skinny guy, looks like a climber. I'll call him Socks for the rest of this video. So Socks going up the hill, like he sails past him and he goes for it. So I'm like, sure, let's go for it. He and I are both skinnier guys. He gets in the front, and I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? The adrenaline's going. Let's see what we can do. Look behind us, like no one's really chasing us. Just me and him. And so he jumps on the front, and I'm just, yeah, let's go. Yeah, I'm a total noob. I'm like, yeah, let's go, let's race. And he's a tall guy. He's taller than me. Gives a flick. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's go. And so I'll go on the front too. And this race, my FTP was around 230 watts. So I thought, okay, I'll sit on the front of my FTP and see what happens. And but like I go on the front for just 10-15 seconds. I look over my shoulder and Socks is dropped. Like Socks not trying to keep up anymore. I guess he thought our little break wasn't going to work or anything. So one guy goes sailing past, and I'm confused at this point because I've always heard people telling me like, yeah, in races, in Chinese races, it's full gas from the go, and like no one's been really going full gas, and like now it starts to get a bit nervous. Like some people going up the road, some people not going up the road, and so Socks goes now. So I'm like, okay, if Socks is going, like I'm going too. And you can see like we're doing 50 k's and people are coming past us. So okay, it's starting to get serious now. And then I see the Novtech guys. I'm like, okay, now it's on. And so before this race, I'm just on YouTube looking at videos of races and crit races and stuff. And everyone always says, if you're not going forwards, you're going backwards. And at this point, like everyone's going past me. So I'm like, okay, let's go. But if you look at the watts, doesn't look like a lot for you guys, like 250, 300 watts. But this is that's more than 5 watts a kilo, 6 watts a kilo for me. So over my FTP by far. But then it slows down a bit, and I get my breath back in here. And yeah, like it's super nervous. Like I'm not sure who I should follow, which wheel I should be on. I can see the guys on the left, the RTS 1-ton guys, and then suddenly like those guys decide, okay, no more playtime. The Novtech guys go, the RTS 1-ton guys go, like boom, it's on. And this was basically the beginning of the end of my race. Like when these guys go, I'm doing 500 watts, and this is where I lose the race. This is where I get dropped from the main pack. Like I just couldn't keep those wheels. And so I'm just wasting energy in the air because I can't stay on the wheel. And then by the time I get back on, just getting back on the wheel, boom, another acceleration. So I gotta work on holding the wheels harder, I guess, because this is just where I get worn down. Again, an RTS Monton guy, I'm like, okay, I'll try hold his wheel. And again, I tried to stay in the slipstream, but I'm pedaling as hard as I reasonably can, and he's just pulling on me. So yeah, just in this race, just fitness wasn't there. You can see at this point I'm starting to go backwards. Everyone who goes past me, I'm just trying to jump on the wheel, but just not committing to it enough. I wish I had my heart rate. Like, I can't remember what my heart was doing at this point, but I remember feeling pretty toasted. And yeah, like people were just leaping off my back and trying to catch the head group. And so everyone who comes past me, like, I just try jump on the wheel, but like, you don't know whose wheel to jump onto. And I kept seeing to jumping on the wheels of the slow guys. But yeah, these guys, these guys are chasing. You can see how big our pack was. Look at this guy's cadence. The Chinese guys, most of them ride with high cadence. Look at this guy. And YouTube's blocked in China, so they're not watching during rider. And again, this is another one of the underpasses, so we're going up a little hill now. And these uphill bits are great. But look at the right. Look at these people. So like the local factories, the government told the workers, told the factories, close your factory for the day. Go let your workers watch the race. It's good. I see Socks go. I'm like, okay, Socks, if you're going, I'm going. I don't know why. Like, as soon as I went up that one tiny climb with Socks, I was like, yeah, me and Socks, I'll go with this guy. And yeah, so Socks goes. Just mentally knowing that, I think mentally knowing this Socks guy, I can ride with him. Seeing him go, just mentally I know, okay, I'll go too. And so, most of these guys are not from my city. Like in the entire race, the men's elite road group race, I think there are only 3 people who live in this city in this actual race. And so one of them, I heard he was late for the race and he missed the inspections, the bike inspections, and he wasn't in the race. And the other guy who is from my city, like, I have no idea where he is at this point. And so I don't know any of these guys. So I'm just trying to make friends as I ride. No one was a real asshole. Like, everyone was pretty friendly. And so this guy with the very unfashionable white leg warmers and white arm warmers, he's the guy who I'd been told had missed the race. So it turns out he must have got into the race anyway. And anyway, seeing him come was a huge confidence boost, because I ride with him all the time. I know on any given day, like, I can ride with him. I can drop him most of the time. And so, like, seeing him come, I was like, yeah, like, let's go, let's do this. And you can see, like, so the head group with all of the RTS Monton guys and Novtech guys, like, they're off the road now. But this guy, he's got heart. Like, he's trying to bridge, but he sees I'm on his wheel too. But not many other people are trying to work with us. Like, these races, when it gets split into 2 groups, the second group, everyone behind you starts shouting like, chase, 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 do work, do work. But none of them want to get on the front and do work. Like, they want you to try bridge, drag them up to the front group, kill yourself, and then they'll just ride on. But it's Socks again. So me, Socks, and my friend are like, okay, well, we'll see what we can do. And so my theory is whenever we get in the front, just go roughly my FTP. But he doesn't know the course. Like, I know there's a hairpin turn coming up, so I'm not going to go accelerating when I have to slam it all off this turn. I took the turn really like a bit of a wimp. I wasn't sure what it was being any dirt or anything. And out this corner, everyone tries to have a go, see if they can break it off, but it's into a headwind, and no one's really getting anywhere. And again, side of the street, still plenty of people. Again, decent cadence. This guy gives a flick of the elbow. Yeah, like, I'm no hero, but I think I was pretty good morally. Like every time someone flicked the elbow, like I went up. Loads of people, you'd flick your elbow, they just shake their head, say, "Nah, bro, like do the work yourself." And so the guy with the white leg warmers, he's actually on a provincial level team, the UCC team, and the guy in front of him with the same jersey is also on his team, obviously. So those two start working together, and they're like, "Let's try chase," and I'm like, "Hey, yeah, sure, I'll help out." The sound on my camera was terrible because it's in a waterproof case and can't hear anything. But I think we were agreeing like doing 30 seconds on the front each or something. But you can see like he's not looking good. He's not in the best of shape. But look at his water bottles on his bike as well. No Bidens, just water bottles. Multi-$1,000 specialized range. That's too big for him. And then can't afford a Biden. To each their own, I guess. And so yeah, I say I'll go on the front. And again, every time I go on the front, I don't know if it's adrenaline, but I go up to 400 watts or whatever. And I go into the TT's position for a second, and I look over my shoulder, and no one's on my wheel again. So after the race, people were telling me like, because I'm such a skinny guy, there's just not much. There's not much drafting behind me. And again, this in our second pack group, there's about 20 riders, I'd say. But you'll see there's like the same 5-6 guys who keep taking turns on the front. Everyone else is just shouting, "Chase, chase, chase." But look at these crowds. Like I've seen UCI World Championships with smaller crowds than this. Like, yeah, definitely. If you want to feel like a pro cyclist but you suck at cycling like me, come to China. Join a few races. And at this point, the morale of our second group, like we can't see the lead group anymore. The morale is going down. Like some people are half-heartedly seeing if they can go off and make their own group, but this guy's cadence is good. His ass is jumping around a bit, but lots of bike brands that you've never heard of in the West. Kung. They make pretty cheap carbon bikes. Again, someone trying to have a go. Again, it's socks again. The same few guys in the front. Windspace, a Windspace bike on the right there, another Chinese local brand. I'm gonna have to do some reviews of these bikes. And then this is coming back into the main city now. Coming back down this way was a bit of a headwind. But again, like the crowds and like they're all getting into it, like they're all shouting and cheering, and it made a good atmosphere. Lots of long sleeves and long leggings. It wasn't that cold. You can see 16 degrees. Yeah, our group now at this point, like, no, everyone decides no one wants to do any work. Yeah, coasting along at 100 watts. And then suddenly one guy will try taking advantage and try to brake, and then boom, everyone chases him again. And as soon as they catch him, no one wants to do anything. Like there wasn't a lot of counterattacks. As soon as a guy got caught, it would just pretty much fizzle out. And yeah, like the speed coming down to 36. Yeah, 35. I mean, it's a headwind, but still, it didn't feel like much of a race at times. Now I'm coasting and no one wants to come past me. Everyone's just smiling for the crowd. Hey, I can see my mom. And yeah, like I'm not trying to be at the front, but no one's going past me. So Sox goes through, and Sox goes, okay, let's pull this faster. Sox goes on an attack, and the guy in front was like, I can't be asked to chase him. I think most of the people know no one's attacking really full-heartedly at the minute. This guy's got funky bar tape. I think it's supercars. Yeah, and I'm impressed by the cadence. These two guys both pulling good cadence. And so it's the end of the first lap, almost end of the first lap. There are 3 laps, but like everyone starts getting into a train as if it's the final lap. Like people start getting antsy. You can see up to 50k an hour. Like I'm like, guys, there are 2 more laps. Chill. But I guess everyone wants the feeling of going through the finish gate first or whatever. There were no points or bonus seconds or anything for finishing the first lap first, but it seemed everyone was interested in trying to finish the first lap first in our little group. No one really wants to do much work. Like I say, when I'm on the front, I just aim for roughly my FTP. If people want to go with me, go with me. If people want to go around me, go around me. I think this guy was basically saying, yeah, like, let's share the work. I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it. But I'd definitely say, like, the average rider just doesn't want to do any work. Like, they want to just get taken to the last 200 meters and just do their own thing. I need a rear-facing camera for next time, but there's a serious amount of riders in our group right? And yeah, it's the same 3 or 4 or 5 people who are doing work on the front. At this point, everyone has it in mind that this group is the group we're going to finish in, and so they're just saving the energy for a sprint. I'd say tactics, not quite on the same depth or level of thinking maybe as what I've seen in crit races in the West maybe. This guy looks like a big boy. I'll follow him. Definitely less wind behind him. So yeah, coming up to the start finish straight, and everyone's getting antsy, even though there are 2 laps left. I think the crowds had something to do with it. Like, I actually got towards this start finish, the crowds were crazy big. Like, this angle you can see some of the crowds, but yeah, the crowds were huge and they're making a real noise. They're going for it. Like, definitely gets the adrenaline going. And yeah, so like, I'll I'll save you watching through the whole thing in real time. We can do a bit of skipping. This is almost towards the end of the second lap, and I've just dropped back to the field a bit, then come to the front, drop back to the front, because no one, I'm pretty sure no one's attacking at this point, especially on the second lap. So I'm just happy to ride around, check out people's bikes. So I'd say of all the bikes I saw, and some nice bikes, some nice S-Works and stuff, like, only a few had power meters. Power meters don't seem very popular here. This guy on the left, on the yellow Pinarello F8, was it? F10? F8? He had a power meter. He was full bling. Like, look at his shoes. He's got one black City and one white City wire. I don't know if City ever did that or he brought 2 pairs, but like, he's also got Gucci sunglasses on. Like, this guy was a player. Like, yeah, lightweight wheels, Pinarello frame, a legit Pinarello frame, full Dura Ace. He was a nice guy. Because yeah, the second and third lap, everyone pretty much just talking to him about some stuff. They're all surprised when a foreigner can speak Chinese, so it's easy to make friends. But yeah, this is the start of the third lap, and everyone's just not wanting to do any work and just save their energy. I'll speed this up, and yeah, like, I'm just on the front, and everyone's behind me, and I'm just bored, so I'm on the front. I'm not trying to be a hero. But you can see, like, no one comes past me for quite a while. But, you know, what else? Yeah. Still going along. And then some people go past. And okay. Thanks, guys. Give me a toe back. The difference in watts between the laps. The first lap averaged 204 watts, the second lap 158, and the third lap 152. And around we went. And so, super anticlimactic, my GoPro ran out of juice before the end. But I came out as the 4th wheel in our group, I think. And like I say, I'm the world's worst sprinter. I literally just, the guy who races in my city with the white sleeves, I knew I could probably stick up with him. And he races a lot, so I knew he'd know the time to go. So I just held his wheel and followed him across the line. Like, and yeah, that was enough for 4th wheel. And there was the cash prizes all the way down to 20th. Like, I came 18th, so I got 400 renminbi. 400 renminbi, which is like 40 pounds, 40 British pounds, which is about what, like $50. So, you know, not bad. But some of the cash prizes for races in China these days is crazy. I'm gonna make another video about it because since this race, I've done a few other races. I've met some foreigners who are in China, like, making decent money. A couple of guys, like, who've done higher level UCI stuff back in the day, the Tour of Korea, stuff like that, like UCI continental level stuff, and a few smaller countries' national champions. The past few races I've raced with Mongolian national champions, Indian national champions, and yeah, they're all in China making decent money because the first, the first places are all like $5,000 prizes. And Saturday you do a race, you get $5,000 prize. Sunday you do a race, you get $5,000 prize. You make very good money. So yeah, I'll make another video about that soon. I want to try and make a video about like how to come to China, how to start racing in China, what you can expect, what you can make. Talk to some of the people who've done it a lot more than me. Because like I say, I'm a noob. I've done a few races since this one, a lot. But I've been talking to lots of people, doing lots of research, so I want to get that video done soon. But I thought I'd show you guys this, my first noob experience race, let you learn from my mistakes, so you don't be a noob like me. But yeah, racing was great. I look forward to doing some more. Thanks for watching. If you guys want to watch more videos like this, I'll try and make it shorter next time. This went on a bit, I'm sorry. But yeah, subscribe, and I'll try bring you more of the videos you want. Let me know in the comments below if you've got any questions about racing in China. Yeah, that's it for today. Bye bye.